Just over 300 days ago, I began filming and uploading my track and field journey to YouTube. At the start of the year, I set goals of competing at both the European Championships and the Paris Olympics, and after struggling back and forth with injury troubles, I ultimately failed to achieve both of these goals. Whilst at first I was incredibly disappointed in missing out on these opportunities, I've worked hard to overcome the adversity and get myself back into shape, setting my fastest times of the year in my last 2 races. I'm back at work and looking to continue pushing towards my long-term goals. In this video, I'll be opening up a bit more about what it's been like sharing my journey as an athlete and what my next steps will be as I continue the journey to run a sub-20 200 metres. We're back on the track just a few days after my 4th place finish at the England National Championships 100 metres, and we're doing a 60 metre session where I'll be doing 5 all-out efforts to practice my acceleration and start technique.
Power structure.
Quicker 6:18 Joe, 6:53 Sean, that's consistent.
What a day, by the way. Nice, this is what we want. Sunday session, outdoor track obviously, and today we've got a little bit more volume, a 180 flat out, and then we've got some 110s as well. So obviously full warm up, get into it. My next competition is a week today, or maybe 6 days today. I can't remember if it's Saturday or Sunday, but it's the National League final. I'm going to be doubling up 100, 200 and probably the relay as well, coming off the back of the England Championships. But we're back down at the track, feeling brilliant shape. Weather's nice, so let's get down on the track, get warmed up, and I'll give you some more info on the session in a moment.
Alright, who's timing this?
Okay, that's a couple reps done. Gonna see how many more I can do. Probably only gonna do another 1 or 2. The bottom of my, well not the bottom, the side of my heel's a bit inflamed. Felt it for the last few days. So that is bothering me a bit, but it is what it is. So yeah, let's get into this last rep. Alright, session complete for me. The only thing I'll say is this heel issue is a little bit frustrating. The current situation is essentially I'm planning to do another 2 races. There's 3 potential races that I was planning to do. One being the National League final, the second one being an open meeting in Loughborough, and the third being one of the London series, and that takes us to like the 18th of August. The predicament I have now is this heel is bothering me. And whilst it's bearable at the minute, I'm aware that if I keep running, not only will it make it worse, it will also take longer to recover, which means that it might then affect the start of winter training. So I'm faced with two options. Option one, continue to train as I am, grin and bear the pain, get through the last few races and try and lay down a fast time before we go into the off season. Or option B, select one of the races that I want to go and do, have that as the last one, assuming my body cooperates over the next week to 10 days, and then just call the season there and focus on making sure that I'm actually healthy when we come back for winter training. I would love to get all these races in. Ironically, it's when I actually feel like I'm in really good shape where I'm having this predicament. Between now and Thursday, I'm going to rest and recover, do my rehab exercises, which is basically some foot mobility stuff to try and get this heel unstuck, and see how I feel on Thursday. So today, I've still got a gym session to do. I'm going to go down, do this gym session, and then in the next few days, I'll have made a decision. I'll let you know, and then we'll follow out that plan. Let's be sensible, and I'll make a decision in about 3 or 4 days. Let's go into the gym. So, into the gym for my afternoon session, and the focus at this point in the season is just to move the weights quickly with as much force as possible. I've lowered the weight on my power cleans to protect my heel from too much impact whilst I'm giving it some time to recover over the next few days. Doing your best to keep on top of strength and conditioning work during the season is key, as it can be very easy to let this slip and you end up losing a lot of strength over the summer. I find it does tend to be a bit of a trade-off, losing a little bit of strength in the weights room to gain a bit of sharpness and speed on the track. But this is still a balancing act, and it's important that you keep some form of strength element in your program year round to avoid significant strength and power loss. I decided it would be wise to take a few days off from running to give my heel the best chance of settling down, which will help me make a more informed decision regarding my competition schedule at the end of the week. So keeping up with some conditioning work in the gym with some lighter weights, I'm doing my best to be sensible and to wait out the next few days before coming to a final decision. I'll be doing a couple of intense bike sprint sessions over the next couple of days before I choose between the options that I set out earlier in the video. So let's get through the week and see what the verdict is.
Powered trucks.
Today's session was 8 minutes in total, 1 minute intervals on the bike, doing 300 watts and 2 minutes rest in between. I'm just doing my cool down on the bike now, and whilst I'm doing this, I thought I would fill everybody in on the situation that I mentioned earlier in the video. This time last week on Sunday, I did some fast reps on the track, 180 and some hundreds, and noticed that there was a bit of heel pain creeping in. The day after I did that, the pain increased, and I presented myself with two options. Option A was to push through it and do these last 2 or 3 competitions that I had planned and just see how I get on because I feel in great shape. And option B was to basically choose one of the competitions and just go with that one and rest from now until then to try and give myself the best possible chance to make sure this heel doesn't flare up too much. And after some deliberation, I've chosen to go with option C, which is neither of them. I've actually chosen to end my season, which isn't a decision that I've taken lightly. It's quite gutting to have to end the season, especially because the last couple of races have literally been the best of the season. The last time I ran the 200, I ran my season's best. And the last time I ran the 100, I ran my season's best. So it's kind of annoying that I'm having to end the season here. But the reason behind that is because we're now at the start of August. I will begin winter training sometime in September. And if I keep pushing through to late August racing, my heel isn't going to improve, and then we're running the risk of showing up to week 1 of winter training with an injured heel. I've seen the physio a couple times, and I believe it's some kind of tendon inflammation that's wrapping around my calcaneus, which is just causing the bottom of the foot to be inflamed when I apply impact and pressure onto it, especially when I'm rolling on the inside of my foot, which is what I would have to do to run around the turn. So unfortunately, that means that we've come to the end of the 2024 season. I ran a couple quick times, come out of it with a 10.4 into pretty bad conditions and a 20.6 in the 200. I'm pretty disappointed overall. Obviously, the goals that I set out at the start of this season were to go represent Team GB at the European Championships and at the Olympic Games. Neither of those things happened. It's been a massively turbulent year, up and down. Literally a week 2 of winter, torn hamstring, took me a while to improve and to get back to full fitness. Foot issue after indoors, took a good few weeks to get rid of that. And then re-tearing my hamstring just 4 weeks before the Olympic trials was kind of the final blow that just took the season out of control for me. But sometimes, especially in sport, especially in track and field, these things just happen. Having these hardships this year is just motivating me even more to push on and make sure that I succeed next year, because our time in the sport is finite. Like, you don't get endless amounts of years, so every year counts and you have to take something out of every season. And I think what I've taken from this year is just a lot of resilience and learning how to deal with setbacks and to keep picking myself up. It's funny because I started this series to hopefully show the journey from the start of winter training and me going on to run at the European Champs, the Olympic Games, smash my PBs, and hopefully I was thinking it was going to be an amazing story, kind of show everyone the come up. And right now I should be filming at the Olympic Games if everything went to plan. And I'm here with an injured heel on the bike telling everyone that I'm ending my season after not being anywhere near where I want to be. So in one sense it's disappointing, but in another sense I feel like telling this story kind of gives a good testimony of things don't always go to plan. Anyone that's watched from quite early on will have seen that pretty much every episode has just been like a fight and a struggle, and it's been a case of me like trying to chase and to claw my way back to form, to just run a little bit quicker, to recover from the latest injury and to get myself where I want to be. And I've always been on the back foot, and now I think it's time for me to rest up, recover, make the sensible choice and make sure that when I come back to winter training in September, I'm ready, firing on all cylinders. I'm ready to make it happen next season. But I'm just glad that I've documented the whole process so that this is here as a testimony to everything that I've done so far. After all the chasing, all the stress, all the setbacks, it feels like it's like God basically telling me I need to stop chasing and go and reset and plan and wait for next year. I've given everything that I've got to give this year, and I think this little heel problem is maybe a blessing in disguise. Between now and probably the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm still going to be doing sessions like this, lifting weights in the gym. I'm going to stay fit, and we're going to take the official off season around the end of August, have a couple of weeks out, and then towards the back end of September, we're going to get back into some serious training. The channel's been going for about 10, coming up to 11 months by the time this video goes live, and what we've built as a community is just like nothing short of amazing. I'm certain that it's been one of the best things that I've ever done. With all the setbacks I've had this year, running this channel and posting these videos, telling the story has given me a different identity other than the one that's tied to how fast I can run. And that's the first time I've had that since I basically started running. So if I didn't have this channel, I don't know where my mindset, where my mental health would have been. But this has kept me going, and all the support from everyone that I've had over the last 10 months has been incredible. Like, it's honestly kept me going, and times where I thought there was no way back, especially after the hamstring injury just a few weeks before British Champs, I was feeling pretty bad about it, but making all the videos leading up to it, I knew I'd committed to see it through and to get myself to those national champs, because I know so many people wanted to see me there. I wanted to be there for myself, but all the motivation and support from everyone has just been like amazing. It's really pushed me through. It's back to the lab for now. The season's over. I'm going to do a full season breakdown. I'm going to compile all the races from this year and go into a bit more depth and really explain what was going on, a bit of behind the scenes from each race, how I thought it went, and a bit of a technical breakdown from where I think I can improve going forward. But for now, the first season of the speed operation is complete. It's not going anywhere. The journey continues, you already know. In September, we're going to be back for season 2 of the speed operation. I've got some different types of content that I'm going to be putting out over the next few weeks, and next year we're going to make sure it's different. I'm going to get back where I belong, but for now I'm going to get some fitness work in, get myself in shape, and I'll see you in winter.